Today's sun-dried tomato pasta, it's creamy, delicious, and it's gonna become your next weeknight hero. Hi, I'm Laura Fuentes, and on my channel, I share all the kitchen skills moms should know, real-life recipes, and the very best pancakes. Subscribe for more. I'm gonna start by boiling my pasta. I'm using Ziti today, which is these tube-like pastas. I love it because it traps all the sauce inside. I'm gonna add it to boiling water. While the pasta cooks, I'm gonna get the recipe going. The first thing we're gonna do is coarsely chop our sun-dried tomatoes. They come in oil, which is great because we're gonna use that to cook our chicken. I'm using half a jar, about 4 ounces of sun-dried tomatoes. And as you can see, when I take them out, I try to leave the oil in the jar and just put them on my board. These are already julienned, which means into strips like this, but I wanna give them a coarse chop so the smaller pieces blend better into my pasta. My chicken breasts, I've patted them dry between 2 paper towels to absorb any moisture, and that helps the salt and the paprika, which I'll sprinkle on both sides of the chicken breasts, stick to the chicken better. Before you drain the pasta, make sure to reserve the 1.5 cups that you'll need to make the sauce. And you drain the water out, and you can leave the pasta in the colander or return it to the pot. So now we're gonna cook the chicken in the large skillet, but I'm gonna use that oil from our sun-dried tomatoes in the pan to cook the chicken. I'm gonna heat it up first, and then I'm gonna place the chicken directly on the hot pan. I'm gonna cook the first side for about 6 minutes or so, and then flip it over, and another 5 or 6 minutes on the other side until it's cooked through to about 165 Fahrenheit. And then we are gonna transfer that chicken onto a plate and let it rest. I'm gonna reduce my heat to medium and add my chopped sun-dried tomatoes right into my pan. I'm gonna peel the garlic and mince it. You can also use a microplane or grater to make it real easy. And then I'm gonna add that right into my pan with my tomatoes and cook them together. I'm also gonna add some Italian seasoning and red pepper flakes to the same skillet. I'm gonna stir this around and cook everything for about a minute until the garlic is nice and fragrant, and now we can make our sauce. You wanna start out with warm half and half or cream. So I'm gonna warm it in the microwave for about 30 seconds. And also that reserved pasta water, if it's not still hot, make sure to give that another quick zap so it helps melt the cheese. Now we just add the warm half and half into our pan, and we're gonna scrape up any of the brown bits from the bottom to bring that flavor into our sauce. Bring it to a simmer. You're gonna reduce the heat to low. At that point, we're gonna add that Parmesan cheese, and we're gonna stir it to melt it into the sauce. And we'll start out by adding 1 cup of the reserved pasta water. And we're gonna stir it to continue to melt that into the sauce until it's nice and smooth and creamy. And now we're adding that cooked Ziti into our pan along with the cooked chicken, which I slice into smaller pieces. And make sure to add the juices from the plate because that adds a lot of flavor. And we're gonna add all of this to the skillet and toss it until the pasta is coated with the sauce. It's saucy and so delicious. Get everything that you need to make this sun-dried tomato pasta right below this video. And if you're into this type of meals, check this one out next. See you next time.